Yo, what's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we got a brand new video, this time on Bitcoin and talking about the price and everything that's going on with Bitcoin right now. So there's been a big move up and it continues to move up and has a lot of people wondering what Bitcoin's gonna do next and if it's gonna reach new all-time highs. I think we're on that path, but we can look at the price of Bitcoin here. This is the daily chart right here. We're drew out this upward trend like channel here, and right now at the top of it, we've seen this level right here is 47,000, the bolded line, and we've seen that this has been a major point of resistance. We got close, rejected one, twice, got over it, and now we managed to get back under it. But we do want to get over 47, and then we've got to see how it reacts to 49. That's the next level, and then there's just nothing until 58,000. So right now we're staying in this ascending channel. We've not broken out of it. Touch the top, touch the bottom, but honestly, we're just kind of staying in here. This level is the toughest part, but then there's only 49,000, and then almost 60K, which is almost all-time highs. There is no resistance between 49,000 and 58,000. So that's a price range where we could see it get go from 49 to 58 really fast, and that's where it might even break out of this channel, where it might just go up really fast. And then we might see pullbacks and stuff, but then even over 58, 59,000, there's nothing up here. There's the previous all-time high of almost 65,000, and then it's just nothing. It's price discovery from there. And one of the big things we've got happening is the golden cross. This is just like the death cross, what everyone was saying about that. That's what this cross was. Everyone was saying, death cross, Bitcoin bear market, $10,000 Bitcoin, $4,000 Bitcoin, 4-digit Bitcoin, and people were just really running with it. But you see, we fell a little bit, traded sideways, and now we've blasted off, and we would have a golden cross happening, which is bullish. That would mean the price of Bitcoin would continue to go up. But I don't know, these crosses and stuff, people can say whatever they want. It's TA and everything. The TA right now is starting to agree with the fundamentals of Bitcoin, where you really can't paint a bearish case. You really have to just look at this thing is starting to take off. So the adoption still continues to grow. All the Bitcoin growth companies continue to get involved, and now the technicals are flipping from bearish to bullish. So it's really, really hard for a bear to be a bear now. And then another thing we're seeing is miners accumulating Bitcoin, and this has been happening for over 5 weeks now. So you can see red and green. Obviously, red is them selling their Bitcoin, and green is miners accumulating Bitcoin. And this is big because that means less supply goes on the market, which makes the price need to go up. We've already seen exchanges losing their Bitcoin. Their supply is leaving exchanges, going to hardware wallets, different wallets, and the exchanges running low on supply, and more people want to buy Bitcoin. That means the price has to go up because they don't have the supply to be able to serve everyone that wants Bitcoin. So that's how that's really affecting it. And every time miners accumulate Bitcoin, the price goes up because of that supply shock. But it also shows that the market is healthy. Bitcoin's healthy, meaning that they don't want to sell Bitcoin at these prices. They think it's undervalued to sell Bitcoin now. They would rather hold it. And we're going into a time where Bitcoin miners are actually able to not need to sell the Bitcoin that they've mined to pay for things like electricity costs and bills, utilities, all those different things. They can hold the Bitcoin, and if they're a public miner, they can raise money through the public market, through the stock market, and they can use those funds instead of selling Bitcoin, and they can now hold the Bitcoin, add it to their balance sheet, and use it for, making their company more money and having more money in the balance sheet. So miners are no longer needed to sell Bitcoin to mine Bitcoin. They can hold it and raise money in different ways. And some on-chain data. This is massive and just shows like Bitcoin continues to grow and be adopted and move forward. You can start this tweet showing Bitcoin realized cap just reached an all-time high. of $378 billion, and that's the money that's in Bitcoin. And you have Willy Woo, who breaks it down, says the capital stored in Bitcoin network just broken all-time highs. The network has more money in it today at 47,000 than it did at 64,000 in April. Realize Cap estimates this summer this by summing the price paid for every coin in Bitcoin's circulating supply. So there's more money in Bitcoin than there was at the tops of Bitcoin. That just shows the adoption continues, growth continues. People can scream bearish and everything, but the fundamentals of Bitcoin continue to grow every single day. And you can use TA and these charts and things and mapping things out to try and guess short-term moves, and even that's not very accurate, especially with Bitcoin. But you can't use it to think what Bitcoin can be in 5 years, 10 years down the road. The fundamentals take over, and those have been screaming bullish forever now. The Bitcoin network continues to grow. It's insanely bullish, and I mean, this is still the very, very beginning of what we're seeing that Bitcoin can do. And we see this right here because people want to always say Bitcoin's too slow, this and that. So comparing transactions to Visa and MasterCard, you have 17,000 a second and then 5,000 a second for MasterCard. But on the Lightning Network for Bitcoin, you have 25 million transactions a second. So this is something that people don't even take into account. Like, nobody talks about the Lightning Network and how it can absolutely put Bitcoin into everyday use of buying things and not needing to say it's too slow, it's too expensive, and it's not as easy as using, a credit card. Because now, I mean, 25 million a second is way more than everything that these Visa and MasterCard's doing. And then you can take that and use Bitcoin every single day to buy every single day things. And the Lightning Network doesn't charge a lot. Like, it's not expensive to use. It can be a fraction of a penny to send something on the Lightning Network. So those two big points, saying it's too slow, Lightning Network fixes that. Saying it's too expensive, it's really not. But that Lightning Network fixes that for the smaller purchases as well. Where if you buy a $5 coffee or something, it's not going to cost you $10 to send that. It can cost you 1 cent, and then that's great. And then finally, we have the shorts and longs data here. You can see the shorts here are down 10%, down a lot actually, which is good to see. And then the longs are down as well. At the highs of the longs, it was about 53,000 long, and that's down to 41. And a lot of people might see this and think, people aren't bullish on Bitcoin because the longs are down, and that means the price can't go up. But this is actually a really good thing for Bitcoin because it just means there's not as much leverage in the system. So, like, when we look at the chart here, there's not a lot of leverage. So longs, people longing Bitcoin, they can't be liquidated, or they can be liquidated, but right now it's people spot trading. They're putting their money in, not using leverage. So that's why when we see things like this happen, like at 42,000, you see it get a pullback. If the system was heavy in leverage and a lot of longs were in this, then this pullback could have triggered liquidations and pulled the price even further down before settling and then changing market sentiment and all of that. But because there's low leverage, it had a little correction, continued blasting up. So that's a good thing for the leverage here for the longs. It doesn't mean people aren't bullish. It just means they can't be liquidated, which is great. And then shorts, on the other hand, continue to kind of hover around this 1400, 1800 range. They were around like 2700 short, around the 10th, and then that's fallen off and continues to plummet. But the shorts really not going up and down too much. When the shorts have gotten high started to get to like this range of like 2700, nearing 3000, then that's when we start to see the shorts get liquidated and the price pumps up. So I don't think there's a lot of confidence for people to short the market, and seeing people not using leverage to long the market is also good. We don't see those liquidations. So this price is much more natural than it was before. And there's a lot of good things with that, meaning there's not a high chance of like the price plummeting because of leverage. It can't start to correct and then plummet because liquidations, and then it's just very accurate pricing. 46,000, almost 47,000 seems like a big price where there is a resistance at 47,000, but we've seen these pullbacks and they would have been a lot worse if there was leverage. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. Bitcoin continues to chug forward regardless of anything that's happening. Adoption grows, the network grows, and now the technicals and the charts are all screaming bearish. So it is, or bullish. It is very hard for anyone to come up with scenarios of saying Bitcoin to 20K, Bitcoin to 10K anymore. So as always, guys, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. See you guys in my next video.